Welcome back to SNS Football Talk. We're here to have a little conversation about Shedeur Sanders. We know this guy is the most intriguing rookie right now in the NFL. By far. I don't think it's even close. Adam, thank you for coming back on the show. We got Adam Blake on the show with us, man. And we appreciate him joining us. To always give his takes. You could catch him. He is our official draft expert. So if you want to know what's going on in the draft or even sports in general, hit him up at Adam Blake Sports. That's our guy right there. But we talking about Shedeur right now. We want to talk about, man, it's a quarterback controversy going on in Cleveland. We've got Shedeur Sanders. We've got Joe Flacco. We've got Mr. Dylan Gabriel. And we have Shedeur. And we'll just say the name. He's not going to quarterback, but Deshaun Watson. He's not going to play. I got to say that because Dom always brings up Deshaun Watson. The man is not going to play again. We know that, okay? So with all that being said, Adam, what do you think the Browns should do? Who should be quarterback number one on game day, on game number one?
I think it's going to be kind of like a situation similar to Drake May last year, where like May should have been the quarterback early on, but he kind of got to earn it twice, basically. I think Shedeur has been the best quarterback in camp so far. I saw a clip of him that just looked like a really, really pro-ready throw where threw like a back shoulder fade to I can't remember who caught it, but someone in the end zone. He looks really good. He looks like the best quarterback right now. Dylan Gabriel's looked good, and he does have the draft capital. But at this point, I think Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett, like one of them is probably going to get traded, and we'll see who. I've been like a big proponent of if Aaron Rodgers doesn't sign and decides to retire, that maybe Joe Flacco gets traded to the Steelers. The big thing is there's a lot of guaranteed money in the contract for Kenny Pickett, so it's like they definitely can't cut him. Shedeur only has $500,000 of guaranteed money in his entire 4-year contract, so that's definitely a factor. People have even been saying he's not like a lock, but I think he's a baller. I think he's one of the most pro-ready quarterbacks of all rookies. So I think he maybe should be the day one starter. And there's a lot of football to be played. We need to see him in the preseason, in like the full mini camps with all the vets there and everything. We have to see. Obviously, we know he can take a hit from the Colorado days. Yes. So at the end of the day, I think if he does outplay every single person, I still think they're going to try to find a way to like not start him right away. But at the same time, they only used a 5th round pick on him, so they might not be worried about like babying him along, and they might not be worried about like rooting his career, so to speak. I think he's pro ready. He's through like 73% completion percentage last year at Colorado. And everything we've seen so far, like he looks like he's ready. He's making the NFL throws, so I like him as the day one starter, but I don't personally think it's going to happen. If Flacco's on the roster, I think they're going to start Flacco, and then we could see maybe Shedeur take over like by like week 5, assuming Flacco's not leading them to like a 3-2, 4-1 start or something like that. But
sounds like you don't trust Kevin Stefanski right there. That's what that sounds like. You don't. But here's the thing: I kind of trust Adam Berry not to cut him, because Adam Berry has never cut a draft pick in the first season ever.
That's a good stat.
Even guys that are terrible, he's found a way to at least try to give them a year, a la Cedric Tillman, right? He's just now showing he may be able to play and actually stay healthy. Expert. I'm hearing from all the experts that Shedeur is showing out in these OTAs and these rookie mini camps, that he's balling. Not that Gabriel's bad, but Shedeur has command of the team, the offense. The guys are already following him. I like Kenny Pickett. I think he has potential. I just wish he could throw the ball without gloves. I like Flacco. He's a vet. If you're Kevin Stefanski, what are you doing? Are you starting with one of the vets, or you start with Shedeur or Gabriel?
Well, here's the thing. Just from me, I always look at the money. Just from a financial perspective. If I'm looking at it, I want to see Shedeur. I don't care who the best is. I want to see Shedeur.
You want to sell jerseys?
Yes, I want to sell jerseys. If I turn the TV on and I see the Browns are playing,
you sound like the owner, Jenny Haslam.
Yeah, and I don't.
That was
I
who
don't
selected him too.
Yeah. But if I turn the TV on and I don't see Shedeur, I'm changing the channel. I want to see Shedeur. I didn't care about the Browns before, but now I really want to see the Browns. You know why I want to see them? It's because of Shedeur. So yes, definitely put Shedeur out there. You know, forget the other quarterbacks. You know, those other quarterbacks have to be exceptionally well in
So
order
Tom
for me
Brady or Peyton
not.
Manning.
You're gonna have to be sort of on that level for me not to put Shedeur in. But if you're not at that level, Shedeur's in there. I'm rocking with him, and we're gonna see where that goes. Because that's all I want to see. I want to see Shedeur out there.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm starting with Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco brings experience. He already understands and knows Kevin Stefanski's offense. You went to the playoffs with Joe Flacco. He has command of offense. He knows all the throws. He has comfortability with pretty much all the receivers except for Jerry Jeudy. My only thing is I'm gonna give him a very short leash because with the Colts, he fell off the map quickly. The ship imploded very fast on Joe Flacco. And had Anthony Richardson actually had some maturity, he probably would have been on the field. So that's number one. Number two, I cannot go with Kenny Pickett. This man has not proved that he's an actual starting quarterback. And I don't like no quarterback that got to wear 2 gloves to throw a football. That's crazy. I've never seen a quarterback be successful doing that. Have you, Adam?
I haven't, and I mean that was like his one flaw coming in was like the small hand size. So maybe it has something to do with that like the gloves give him a little bit of extra grip, but I feel like that's not going to help when it's you have some inclement weather at that point.
Exactly. And we already saw it in Pittsburgh, inclement weather, and the guy was very unimpressive. I watched him play a game where he completed 4 passes, so I can't have him as a starter. Gabriel, I think he's good, and I want to put Gabriel in a position to be I want to be where the Commanders were when you had RG3 and you had Kirk Cousins. I could actually, if this guy is good, or even where the Falcons were, we had Matt Ryan, we had my guy that played for Houston.
Oh, Matt Schaub.
Can't think of the name right now. Shaka.
Matt Schaub.
Matt Schaub. Yeah. We had basically 2 starting quarterbacks, and now you're in a position to hold one on for ransom, right? I want to hold Gabriel for ransom. So I need to know that he can play, but I got to start Shedeur. Shedeur has proven without an offensive line, he looks like an NFL quarterback. He had no offensive line and 1 wide receiver. So if I actually get this guy a weapon in David Njoku, I give him Junkins, who's a great running back. I give him an actual offensive line that can protect him, and he has now also, Jerry Jeudy. He's got the weapons to be successful. If this works out, now those first-round draft picks are way more valuable instead of investing to move up to get a quarterback. Shaka, who you got starting? If you are the Browns, who you starting? Now, your choices, obviously, let's put the choice out there for Dom. We know the man ain't going to play. Deshaun Watson, he's going to be in the massage parlor. He's not going to be on the field.
He's not coming.
Right, the man retore his Achilles. So, Adam, would you even have him in the quarterback room? Would you even allow him to come in the quarterback room?
I mean, I've actually read some positive reports about, like, even Shedeur was saying that apparently Deshaun Watson's been in every single QB meeting and he's had like a really positive impact on him so far.
Okay,
but that scares me a little bit too for a variety of reasons, mostly the off the field stuff. But yeah, he's been a shell of himself when he has been playing the last few years too. Like we're not seeing the Houston Texans Deshaun Watson that we used to.
Yeah, he might still have a chalkboard skill. So, but Shaka, you got Deshaun. You can have him on the chalkboard. You got Joe Flacco. You got Kenny Pickett. You've got Dylan Gabriel.
Well,
and
this
you got
is the
Shedeur.
easiest.
Who are you starting?
To me, this is true competition. You don't get too many times where you can actually have what you're looking for, which is the old bull, someone who's been there, done that. He succeeded for your organization. You got him back because you realized you made a mistake by letting him go. Then you have 2 young guys who are going to duke it out. Somebody's going to make it. Somebody's going to the practice squad. And I think it's going to be Shedeur, but like you don't start the season with Shedeur. I don't think you do that. I think Cleveland is saying we're seriously trying to win games. And that's why they went and got Flacco. Now, if Flacco gets hurt or if Flacco shows signs of, I don't know, old age, whatever you want to call it, Shedeur continues to flash in practice.
Right, looking washed up.
Then you have that natural occurrence where the young man steps in. But we saw with Bryce Young, We've seen with other quarterbacks. It's a very delicate situation where you try to put a young man in there who has not played at the NFL level, and you ask him to put the team on his shoulders. And that's theoretically what Cleveland would do. Now, we know they got a defense. We know they got Jerry Jeudy. They got some playmakers. They got, a tight end. They got, they're going to have a running game. But still, Shedeur Sanders is going to have to make plays. I would let Joe Flacco do it, man. I would only have Shedeur play if he's needed. And hopefully that wouldn't be till later in the season.
Well, I feel like you can't do what the Falcons did with Desmond Ridder, where you found out too late he wasn't the guy. You got to be careful where you don't put yourself in a position to do that, and it's too late. And now you don't have a replacement, because next year you have those additional first-round picks. You need to know if you're going to take a quarterback or not. Do you agree, Adam? I mean, I know you do draft things. You're a draft professional. You kind of need to know that up front, right?
Yeah, no, I think, I like Flacco starting the season if he's still on the roster. But I think unless they're somehow like looking like playoff contenders 6 games into the season or maybe sooner, you got to see what you have with either Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders. With Dylan Gabriel, he was a 3rd-round pick, so I mean he's going to be on the roster for at least the 4 years probably, and he'll be a great career backup, maybe better. No shade to him, but yeah, with Shedeur Sanders, like you really need to see what you have, and we'll see if it is. If he is a really promising player, and I hope he is. I'm a big believer in Shedeur, and it's like, yeah, you mentioned Jerry Jeudy, Cedric Tillman's likely to come into his own. You have David Njoku, but he's often injured, so they got Harold Fannin Jr. in round 3. He was the entire Bowling Green offense last year. Mm-hmm. Yes, it was only in the MAC, but it's only the 2nd time in FBS history that a tight end has won the Offensive Player of the Year for their conference. So I mean, he could do literally everything. He had like almost 1,600 yards. He had over 100 receptions, 15 touchdowns. So he's a great player. And then not just Quinshon Judkins, but you also added Dylan Sampson.
That's the one.
And I think round 4, who to me, he reminds me of Ray Rice. He's a bowling ball. He wins with speed. He's
on the field, not off the field.
Yep, just on the field, but like he's small dude too. So like you have the Lightning and the Thunder. He's like 5'8", 200. Then you've got the big Quinshon Judkins coming in at like I think around like 220. But Judkins has speed too. Like he runs 4.48. Henderson, his Ohio State teammates, the 4.43 guy. But Judkins can just run through you. He can do literally everything. And I mean, they're going to play through the running game and through the defense, I think. So whoever is starting at quarterback, I think they're going to get a lot of play action throws. And that's how the Browns want to win football games. And I think that's how they made the playoffs 2 years ago. So I think Flacco will be great for that early. And then you got to see what you have in Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah. Plus you still have Jerome Ford at running back as well. So
true.
You got an experienced guy in there too. So, and the second running back, he reminds me of Dobbs from Ohio State. I see a lot of that. Hopefully he has a better career. It's unfortunate with Dobbs and that knee, man. He had a good career ahead of him had he been able to stay healthy.
Tennessee,
Dylan Sampson, man, big fan of him.
I don't know how he fell that low. I mean, that dude was
me neither.
You can see in the playoff game, but in the regular season, he made some plays like it reminded me of Alvin Kamara. To be honest, he was running the way he was running.
Whoa! Don't do that.
The way he was running.
Falcons over here. Don't do that.
That's it.
Expert, what's wrong with your man? He on that stuff again?
Hey, the only reason I say that, he's okay because he went to Norcross High School. Okay, that kind of allows me to talk about.
Okay. All right. I'll allow it. We'll allow it.
And Dylan Sampson led the SEC in rushing last year, so like it's not like he came from a nobody conference. He balled out for Tennessee. Is either 15 or 18 touchdowns. So like he did a little bit of everything, and the fact that he fell to round 4, I think that's the only reason they took him, because they already had Judkins. Same thing with Shedeur, falling to round 5, and then the owner Jimmy Haslam was like, okay, you have to take this guy.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's get it out of here on this. Expert, I'm gonna make you Jimmy Haslam for the day. You already told me you saying yes to Hard Knocks, right? So we offer you Hard Knocks, yes? You're gonna give Shedeur as many chances as possible to sell jerseys, right? Okay, so now let's play the game. Adam is gonna be the owner. Adam's gonna be Andrew Berry.
Okay.
And Shaka, you are Kevin Stefanski. We got to talk about you got. I don't know how you're gonna go into a season with 5 quarterbacks on your roster, even though one of them ain't gonna play. That's still 5 quarterbacks. Who's got to go? So you can't get rid of Deshaun. He's injured, and nobody's gonna take on the money, right? And you can't cut him yet. That's next season. You've got Kenny Pickett. You could trade him or you could cut him. You got Flacco. You could trade or cut. You got Gabriel. You could trade or cut. You got Shedeur. You could trade or cut. So first, let's start with the owner and Jimmy Haslam. Who are you getting rid of? Are we getting rid of Pickett, Flacco? Let's see here, Gabriel or Sanders? Because we can't touch Deshaun.
Ooh, man. Shoot, I don't know. That's a tough one right there. Well, we know we're not getting rid of Shedeur. We know that for
you keeping Shedeur. You want Shedeur.
Yeah, that's our money maker. We're gonna probably start with Flacco. So I mean, we're not getting rid of him right away. So
how about this? Let's pause it, because in a real situation, the owner normally doesn't speak first. So that would be the coach. So Coach Stefanski,
I can't work
who's
with
going
small
first?
hands Pickett,
Let's
I can't work with him. Jimmy,
that's what I'm
Jimmy, you told me that we need to win games. So what are we doing here? Let them go make some Burger King commercials, okay? So we know Deshaun is going to be on like hiatus, okay? That's like a soft. It's like a silent man down. All right, get Pickett out of here. Now I got 3, and what I want to do is start Joe. I want Shedeur, and I want young Dan Gabriel to. I want them to go ahead, and Dylan Gabriel. I'm sorry. I want them to go ahead and battle it out. I want to see who wants it. I want to play Welcome to the Jungle and let them guys take turns with the 1s and 2s. Show me what you got.
All right, Andrew Berry, what we doing here? Now, remember, Andrew Berry, your job is on the line. You've had 3 losing seasons now and a bunch of unsuccessful trades. Jerry Jeudy looks good, but you've had some unsuccessful trades. You got rid of Amari Cooper. What are you doing, man? Because you got to save your job, too, as well as, sell tickets. And I'm going to add this extra piece in for Jimmy Haslam. The Browns right now are in position where they are negotiating to leave downtown, go to a suburb called Brook Park, and build a dome. So we got to get excitement now, because you're talking about changing stadiums. Plus, you're asking for the county and the government to help pay for your stadium. So you need personal seat license, because you're going to a dome in 4 years.
Well, it's not very often that the head coach and the GM agree this much, but I couldn't have said it much better than Shaka did, honestly. I'm hoping to trade Kenny Pickett. The one problem is the guaranteed money. At the end of the day, it's just it's a business. It comes down to money and financials half the time, or more than half the time. So I'm begging any team to give me anything for him. If I can, I don't even need a draft pick. If they'll just take on the contract, that's great. But if I can get a 5th, 6th, if someone gives me a 7th, I'll get rid of them. I'll even take on 40% of the contract, 50% of the contract. We'll worry about that in the meetings. But Kenny Pickett, I want off the team, just because I agree with Shaka 100%. I want Joe Flacco starting for as long as he's competitive, as long as it takes for Shedeur to be ready. You pretty much know what you have with Dylan Gabriel, because, well, he is just starting in the NFL. He was in the college game for pretty much longer than anyone.
6 years, I believe.
He even broke Case Keenum's all-time record for passing touchdowns. He basically walked away with most of the FBS titles at this point for passing. And we know what Case Keenum is, too. He was a good career backup. So from that standpoint, I know I would never have used...
And he played for the Browns.
Apparently, it was my call to take Dylan Gabriel in round 3, but I don't know. Someone must have knocked me out, and someone put on my face Mission Impossible style or something like that. because I did not take Dillon Gabriel in round 3. Actually, when I was at the draft, I was walking out and I literally just laughed hysterically when they took him in round 3. But I stuck to my guns, and I told Ben that they can still take Shedeur. Like, we were sitting in Lambeau Field in the 5th round, they're on the clock, and we filmed a little video, and I was like, it'd be weird. It would not necessarily make sense. It would cause a lot of confusion, and it's going to make a lot of headlines. But yeah, I mean, I want Joe Flacco starting. I want Shedeur Sanders in the wing. As soon as he's ready, I want him in there. As soon as we lose a couple games even. And then Dillon Gabriel, he's sitting there too. Like Shaka said, let him duke it out. There is a chance that he's a starter in the NFL. So we'll see what happens. And yeah, those are the 3 quarterbacks I want on my roster. And yeah, Deshaun Watson can do whatever he wants. He's going to do anyway.
So Jimmy has them. They've given you decisions. What you doing now, owner?
Well, you see, I was trying not to go with the obvious, because that was just the most obvious thing to do. But that's really all the way that you're gonna have to go with it, and I'm gonna have to go with my people here, and yeah, I think I agree with both Shaka and Adam. I'm gonna have to do that, get rid of Pickett, and go with my other guys, and see what happens from there.
Yeah,
so, most definitely.
Well, he pays the big bucks.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean that's the only way to go right now.
Well, then there's another question for another day. Jimmy Haslam is part owner of the Milwaukee Bucks. Who do you want for Giannis? So right now, a lot of people want Giannis, man. Everybody's trying to make a trade for him. So who do you want for Giannis, man? You want Cooper Flagg? You want Evan Mobley? Who you want, man? So that's a question for another day. But hey, Adam, tell them where they can find you at, B.
It's Adam B Sports on Instagram and on YouTube. On TikTok, it's going to be Adam B Sports 8. Come give me a follow, direct message. I'm always happy to reply to anything. And appreciate all the support.
Of course, man. We appreciate you having you on. We'll keep the conversation going. And if y'all didn't see it, we got a whole NBA conversation up right now. Check it out. But again, thank y'all for watching SNS Football Talk. Continue to like, share, subscribe, tap in, get the merch. We'll see y'all on the next one.
Of course.